What if your dream vacation turned into your worst nightmare? Imagine the Smith family, a picture of excitement and joy as they prepared for a trip that was meant to be a celebration of love and new beginnings. The Smiths, an average family from a small town, were thrilled about their daughter's upcoming wedding. A wedding that was to take place in a tropical paradise, far from their quiet suburban life. Their bags were packed with the essentials: sunscreens, swimsuits, and of course, the beautiful white wedding dress. The Smiths were more than ready to exchange their daily routine for a few days of pure bliss. The laughter and chatter of the family filled their home, a sweet symphony of anticipation for the joyous occasion to come. But amidst this joy and anticipation, there was a sense of unease, an unsettling undercurrent that was hard to put a finger on, a feeling that something was not quite right. It started as a mere whisper, a ghost of a thought, but soon it grew into an unshakable feeling, a premonition of sorts. Then, the unthinkable happened. The Smiths, who were supposed to be enjoying the sun, sand, and sea, disappeared without a trace. Their hotel rooms lay untouched, their belongings just as they had left them. The wedding venue, set up with a breathtaking view of the sunset, waited in vain for the bride and groom. The news of their disappearance spread like wildfire, casting a dark shadow over the town they had left behind. Friends, neighbors, and relatives were left in shock. Their joyous anticipation turned into a chilling dread. Questions started to rise, whispers turned into loud conversations. What happened to the Smiths? Where did they go? Now the Smiths are not just a family, they have become a mystery, a puzzle waiting to be solved. A family that was once the embodiment of joy and excitement is now a symbol of a chilling mystery. As the Smith family set off on their journey, little did they know it was a trip they would never return from. The Smith family was excited, ready for the trip of a lifetime, but then they vanished. The Smiths, a vibrant family of four, were last seen on the 23rd of July, embarking on their eagerly anticipated road trip. The destination, the picturesque landscapes of the Grand Canyon. They had planned this trip for months, mapping out each detour, each pit stop. Yet, they never made it to their destination. Their last known whereabouts? A quaint little gas station on Route 66, just a stone's throw away from Arizona. The gas station owner, an elderly man named Joe, remembered them clearly. He described them as cheerful, brimming with enthusiasm, and completely unaware of the ominous fate that awaited them. The Smiths were expected to reach the Grand Canyon by the evening of the 24th. When they failed to check in at the booked motel, alarm bells started to ring. Their friends and family, initially assuming they had merely lost track of time, soon grew worried. Their fears were confirmed when repeated calls went unanswered. The Smith family was officially missing. Local authorities were swiftly alerted. The initial response was one of disbelief, quickly followed by a surge of fear and concern. The small, tight-knit community of their hometown was shaken to its core. Friends, neighbors, and even strangers joined hands, rallying together in a desperate attempt to locate the missing family. The local police, alongside state troopers, launched an extensive search operation. Helicopters swept the skies, ground teams combed the surrounding areas, and divers explored the depths of nearby lakes and rivers. Missing person alerts were broadcast on local and national news channels. Yet, despite the tireless search efforts, no trace of the Smith family could be found. As days turned into weeks, hope began to wane. The local community held candlelight vigils, praying for the safe return of the family, while investigators tirelessly worked to piece together the puzzle of their disappearance. Despite the efforts of the authorities, the Smith family remained missing, their fate unknown. As days turned into weeks, the search for the Smith family intensified. The Smith family's disappearance had become the talk of the town, the state, and soon the nation. Everyone was asking the same question: where were the Smiths? But the answers were as elusive as the family themselves. Investigators were tirelessly working around the clock, following every lead, no matter how minuscule. They were sifting through mountains of evidence, trying to piece together the puzzle of the Smith family's last known movements. A gas station sighting here, a credit card transaction there. Every bit of information was valuable. Yet, even with these clues, the family seemed to have vanished into thin air. The Smiths' car, their most substantial physical trace, was found abandoned on a remote highway, but it only deepened the mystery. The vehicle was in perfect running condition, and there was no sign of a struggle or foul play. The search was not confined to the ground. The sky was scoured with the help of helicopters, drones, and even satellite imagery in a bid to find any trace of the family. These efforts, though exhaustive, were not yielding the desired results. The investigators were facing immense pressure, both from the public and their own conscience. The Smiths were not just a case file, they were a family, people with lives, hopes, and dreams. The emotional toll of the search was palpable. Then there were the challenges. The vastness of the area, the lack of clear leads, the passing time, all these factors were adding to the complexity of the case. The terrain was rugged, the weather unpredictable. Every passing day was a race against time, a race that they were seemingly losing. Despite these hurdles, the resolve of the investigators was unbroken. They were determined to find the Smiths, to bring closure to this haunting mystery. But the path to the truth was proving to be a labyrinth, with each turn leading to another dead end. The investigation seemed to be at a dead end, with more questions than answers. Just when hope was fading, a shocking discovery turned the case on its head. The Smith family, presumed missing, had become the focus of a relentless search. Investigators, volunteers, family, and friends were all hoping against hope for a positive outcome. But then, the unimaginable happened. The Smith family's remains were discovered in a remote wooded area, far from their original travel route. This chilling discovery abruptly shifted the tone of the investigation. The missing persons case that had gripped the nation suddenly became a horrifying murder inquiry. The once cheerful family vacation had taken a sinister turn. The vibrant images of the Smith family embarking on their dream trip were now replaced with the grim reality of their untimely demise. The investigators were faced with a gruesome scene. The family that had set out for a joyous wedding trip was found lifeless, their dreams and aspirations brutally cut short. Each member of the Smith family, from the parents to their two young children, had been mercilessly taken away, leaving behind a void that could never be filled. As the news broke, shockwaves rippled across the country. The community was left reeling, their hope replaced by a profound sense of loss and despair. The Smith family's tragedy was not just a story of lost lives, it was a harsh reminder of the evil that lurks in the shadows of our society. The shift in the investigation brought a fresh set of challenges. The detectives now had to piece together the events leading to this horrifying end. They had to navigate through a web of clues, each hinting at a darker truth. The search was no longer for the missing, but for the perpetrator of this heinous crime. The investigators were determined to bring justice to the Smith family. Their resolve was stronger than ever. They knew they had a daunting task ahead, but they were committed to uncovering the truth, no matter how grim it might be. The discovery marked a dark turn in the case, transforming a family's dream vacation into a nightmare. The Smith family's tragic end was not just a loss for their loved ones, but a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the darkness that can overshadow even the happiest of times. In the wake of the tragedy, the quest for justice began. The ripple effects of the Smith family's untimely demise echoed across the nation, provoking a tidal wave of public outrage, sorrow, and a collective call for justice. The nation was gripped by this chilling tale, a stark contrast to the idyllic family vacation that the Smiths had anticipated. The law enforcement agencies, feeling the weight of public expectation, left no stone unturned in their relentless pursuit of justice. The investigation went into overdrive, with detectives tirelessly piecing together the jigsaw puzzle of evidence left behind. Every lead, every potential suspect was scrutinized, their histories dissected, their alibis probed. The media spotlight only intensified as the hunt for the culprit continued. In the public sphere, the case ignited a heated debate. Armchair detectives across the country speculated about potential motives, dissecting every detail of the case in online forums. Theories abounded, ranging from random acts of violence to calculated, premeditated murder. Yet, despite the rampant speculation, no concrete evidence pointed to a clear perpetrator. As the weeks turned into months, the investigation hit numerous roadblocks. Leads went cold, potential suspects were ruled out, and the trail seemed to grow colder with each passing day. The absence of a clear suspect, coupled with the lack of definitive evidence, added layers of complexity to an already baffling case. Yet, amidst the frustration and the despair, the spirit of seeking justice for the Smith family remained undeterred. The case became a rallying cry for justice seekers everywhere, a symbol of the fight against the senseless violence that had cut short the lives of a joyful family on the cusp of their dream vacation. As the case remains unsolved, the memory of the Smith family lives on, a tragic reminder of a dream vacation turned deadly. Their story continues to haunt us, a chilling testament to the fragility of life and the ceaseless pursuit of justice in the face of tragedy.